we let down a lot of salespeople. There could be some absolute gems that fall by the wayside and end up in other jobs when they could have been incredible. And sales is a must-have skill in this day and age. In fact, in any day and age. Life is sales. I was hoping to ask you a couple of questions if you've got a sec. That's inflecting up. I was hoping to ask you a couple of questions if you've got a sec. That's inflecting down. You decide which one sounds more confident. John, where did you get your data from currently? Nowhere. How the fuck is you calling anyone then? Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Sell the Future podcast. In this week's episode, we are going to cover a short cold calling masterclass for you. Now, this is off the back of a lot of posts I'm seeing out there where people are putting up posts on LinkedIn, calling out gurus and sales coaches saying they're giving advice on cold calling, but I bet they've never picked up the phone in their lives. Well, guess what? I have picked up a phone in my life. My background is business development. My resume speaks for itself. I know exactly what I'm doing when it comes to cold calling. I've been making cold calls since these guys were in fucking nappies, and I still make them to this very day. So stay tuned for what is working and what is not. I've built this out specifically for you guys. SDRs and AEs, do not miss it. Before we jump into that though, we're going to look at posts of the week on LinkedIn. There's a few I want to cover today, so let's jump straight in. So this post goes back to what we were speaking about back at the very start of this podcast. Must be 2-3 months ago now. And this is about Salesforce that at that time had just laid off 4,000 reps. And in the same cycle, they announced they'll be hiring thousands of new salespeople. So we know about this. 4,000 reps were going to get laid off. They did get laid off. And then they're actually hiring more salespeople. So SDRs, AEs, why is this important for you? Well, this is a trend, not just at Salesforce. Let's read through this post, right? It's an interesting contrast for a company selling AI SDRs and AI support agents. On one hand, they're automating large parts of service. On the other, they're expanding one of the most human-dependent teams in the org. The message underneath is simple. AI can run a lot of the motion, but people still carry the momentum. AI can qualify a lead, respond to a ticket, or follow a workflow. It can build activity at scale and keep the machine organized. But when a deal becomes political, emotional, or sensitive, it works differently. You want a human who understands timing, nuance, insecurity, pressure, and the real stakes behind a buying decision. This is the gap Salesforce is signaling. They're removing the work AI can do cleanly. They're investing in the work only humans can do well. Yeah, they're removing the work that AI can do cleanly, so the human beings can come in and do the high level stuff that AI cannot do. So they're being efficient. And this is something that a lot of businesses are doing within the SaaS space. So if Salesforce still needs strong sellers to move big deals, it raises a simple question. How are you shaping the talent that carries your revenue forward? Guys, we need to address this, yeah? There's a lot of SDRs that I'm speaking to, come across, A's as well. They're worried about AI taking over their jobs. And yes, businesses and SaaS have made cuts. Salesforce isn't the only one. Thousands have been laid off. AI has come in and done some jobs in turn. But what that means is they're now expecting their sales teams to run more efficiently and at a higher level. You need to be more strategic in how you operate. You need to be the best version the SDR role has ever seen. You need to be the best AEs that the SaaS landscape has ever seen. That is super important right now. Otherwise, you will find yourself at the fucking exit door. You need to level up. You can't just go through the motions anymore. But those are the ones that are leveling up, that are skilling up. Yeah. Those are the ones that are going to get somewhere. They're going to start making some serious money because AI cannot replicate or detect nuance in a conversation that a human being can. You need to be strategic. You need to ask the right questions. And then when you get answers to them, you need to ask the follow-up questions correctly. You need to dig. And then you need to listen and understand and use emotional intelligence and your reading ability to find out exactly how you can help your prospect. AI is not going to be able to do that as well as a human being. I don't care what anyone says. So instead of bitching and moaning and whining about AI is going to take over my job and all of this rubbish, level up, skill yourselves up, be the best version that you can be. This is not an order taker's job. We are salespeople. And speaking of order takers, we're going to look at some other posts here. So you guys might have heard of Andy Elliott. I'm going to run through some of the posts that he's put up on LinkedIn. And he's been sharing some videos. So let's go through them.
Sounds like it's on the dealership.
Yeah, I haven't had, well, I'll tell you what, buddy. That's on you.
Well, it sounds like it's on the dealership.
Yeah, I haven't had, well, I'll tell you what, buddy. Good morning, Chuck Albertus.
Yeah, Chuck, I was calling to get some information on a vehicle I saw on the internet.
Okay. Well, which vehicle are you looking at?
2022 Ford Edge. You won't get my name.
Okay. And how can I help you with that?
Yeah, it's going to be, you need the stock number or you know the car?
Pretty much, yeah. Were you coming in for a test ride or how can I help you?
So I'm local and I'm looking at another one. And I wanted to ask, what is your best price on this car?
Our internet price is usually our best price.
Okay.
But if you want to come in and make an offer, we could also do that.
All right. Well, let me talk to my wife and then I'll call you back.
Okay. Sounds good.
That's it? That's how you roll? I want to tell you something. How long you been selling for?
Too long.
Time.
Okay, so for a little bit. Are you really busy right now? I mean, maybe you got like 5 deals
No,
working?
I'm not.
Okay. And so if you weren't busy, why did you take the path of least resistance and rush through this? Are you maybe having a cup of coffee with somebody out on the lot, having a cigarette, and you wanted to get back to that?
I wasn't trying to shortcut you. You just came on real aggressive, and that's.
Now, Andy Elliott didn't come across aggressive there, right? He's inquiring about a car. This guy has been selling for way too long. He's fallen into really bad habits. But guess what else he's done? He's lost his enthusiasm for the role. The moment you lose the passion for this job, as you can hear clearly, you're done. You're not going anywhere. This guy's not even an order taker anymore. He's fallen so far downhill. He's not even an order taker anymore. He doesn't even know what to say when someone's saying, hey, have you got the information on this car? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I kind of know it. Yeah, whatever. Do you need the stock number? Yeah, maybe. So what did you want again? What the hell is he going on about? Right? This is a guy that's been doing this job way too long.
That's on you.
Well, it sounds like it's on the dealership.
Yeah, I haven't.
And now he gets defensive. Right? What is the first sign of someone that's insecure or is actually in the wrong or actually doesn't like what they're hearing because it's the truth? They get defensive.
Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. In the last 10 years, I've probably taken 3,000 phone ups, and I haven't had any problems. I can just go by.
He can go by past performance. And in those 3,000 phone ups, I bet you they've all gradually got shitter and shitter and shitter until we've reached this bottom of the barrel garbage.
Past performance.
Well, I live in the future, okay?
My
Old war stories don't mean anything. I like to know what we're going to do today.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is the next phone call, I want you to remember this, okay? What you did yesterday is irrelevant. Winning is today. It's not yesterday. You can be one of these guys, go tell everybody what you did yesterday, how many cars you sold 40 years ago, or today you can show up and give your best. And today you didn't. Shake it off. And I want you to come back with that good attitude on the next call. Okay, buddy? Have a good day. Like they don't even try. It's like these people, this is just garbage.
I bet you his first call as a rookie all those years ago, 10 years ago, was better than this one. Why? Because he would have come in wide-eyed, passionate, hungry. He's lost all of it. And when you're on that slippery slope, you're useless to the business. He's now got to rediscover his mojo or go and find a different job. Right, on to the next one.
How can I help you?
Yeah, I was calling to get some information on a vehicle.
Yes, sir. I can help you with that.
Yep. I was going to see, do you have the 2024 Subaru Forester?
I believe I do. Yeah.
This is an older guy. He's going to be super analytical.
And what information would you like on it?
Told you. Yep. It's 29,000 miles is what I see. 29.4 listed on price. I just want to see if it's still available. But this guy, he's so geeked out on trying to find the right information right now. He's literally not connected with me at all.
Okay, fine. There we go.
See, he's just an order taker. He's a trained order taker. Welcome to McDonald's. Go take your order. What would you like? It's this much money. Oh, no, you don't want it? Okay, pull him through the drive-thru and we'll have the next person come through the window. This is why dealerships are burning cash.
It's not the only reason why dealerships are burning cash. This is why SDRs and AEs and SaaS are failing a lot of the times, because we're not order takers, but we can fall into these bad habits, right? Our job is to sell. Our job is to find pain. Our job is to assist and help prospects and maybe uncover something they haven't seen before. Our job is to ask questions. We're not here to take orders, but I see this a lot in SaaS. And I see it in the landscape in general, in the sales landscape. Salespeople that start off with all the right habits eventually fall into bad habits. And the ones that are not successful, the ones that are not the top billers, guess what? They've turned into order takers. Listen to them. Just go on your floor and listen to the ones that aren't at the top of the leaderboard. You see what I mean?
Burning cash. Burning cash. Look, this company does not train their people. And by the way, hey, where are you calling from today? What's your name? Oh, it's a beautiful day out there. That's awesome. Hey, why you want to see the Forester? Have you owned one before? These are really nice.
Asking
Can you believe
questions.
it only has 29,000 miles?
Yeah, I believe that's still here. I'm going to walk out and...
Look, now he's going to walk out, get his name, and call me back.
I can call you right back with some photos of it. What's a good number to reach in?
Well, so I already saw all the photos. I mean, you got, tons of them on the internet. So that's a good thing about this, internet era. Have you seen the car personally?
I've walked around it. I haven't, started it up or drove it around, but that looked like a nice, clean vehicle.
Let me do this. Let me talk to my wife, and I'll call you back.
Okay, that sounds good. My name is Brian, and if I can answer any other questions, please reach out. My direct line, if you got a pencil handy, is...
Sure. Garbage.
Guys, if you find yourself sounding this unsure on a phone call, whether you've made the phone call or you've received an internal call, an inbound, then you need to sharpen your game up. You need to know exactly what you're going to be saying in certain scenarios, right? Yes, to an extent, we need to be fluid, but there needs to be some structure and frameworks in place. Otherwise, you're going to come across like this guy. This is just useless, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have faith.
Yeah. A question, sir. Sir. This right here, this is why people are going broke all around the world.
Love him or hate him, Andy Elliott, he knows what he's talking about. Right. On to the final one.
Hey, this is Spencer.
I'm just
Put the volume
hoping
on.
that we can
Thanks for
find.
calling, Vic. Hey, this is Spencer. How can I help?
Yeah, Spencer, I was calling to get some information on a vehicle. It's on the internet.
Sure. Do you have a stock number?
TB, as in Tom Brady, 033388A as in Andy. He's not even going to get my name.
2022 Compass Trailhawk.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What kind of questions do you have?
How many miles are on it?
87,199.
Ooh. Yeah, those miles are too high, man. I appreciate it, buddy.
You looking specifically for a Trailhawk?
Yeah, definitely want a Trailhawk. He ain't got my name.
That's the only Trailhawk I've got, man. All right. Well, I appreciate the call.
Okay, what's your name?
Spencer, what was your name?
Yeah, see, that's the deal, Spencer. Let me ask, do you guys have a training system there? Do you guys get trained on your phone calls and stuff like that? Or do you guys just kind of wing it? And how does that work?
I mean, honestly, no idea.
So did they teach you stuff when you hired on there, or did they just give you a pen and say, hit the lot?
Give me a pin. It's kind of a death by fire.
Yeah, I'm going to help you.
This is something we see in the sales landscape, full stop. Not just SaaS. We let down too many salespeople by not giving them training. Spencer sounds good on the phone to me. He sounds good. He sounds like he's keen, he's eager, he's probably quite hungry, wants to make a lot of money, but he's not been given the right skill set. Here's a pen, go on the lot, death by fire. Yeah? Let's just see, sink or swim. That's the attitude in sales. Everything else we train in. You see footballers every week, in midweek, they're training. They're training for the big game. In every walk of life, there's training involved. But for some reason, we let our sales reps go out there and try to just figure it out. And the best ones, well, they'll just make it. Well, that's not necessarily true, because guys like Spencer could probably be fucking awesome if he received some actual training. You've got to skill up, guys, because I'll be honest, I've seen it happen a lot. We let down a lot of salespeople. There could be some absolute gems that fall by the wayside and end up in other jobs when they could have been incredible. And sales is a must-have skill in this day and age. In fact, in any day and age. Life is sales.
Real quick, Spencer, how long have you been selling for?
Not very long.
Okay, Spencer, do you want to do well at sales? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to listen to me. Grab a pen. Next time someone says the miles are too high, just say this. If the miles were lower, came in to look at the car, but the car wasn't in the condition that you wanted it to be in, would you still buy it?
Well, no.
Of course. So at the end of the day, it's the condition of the car that matters, not necessarily the miles. Wouldn't you agree?
To an extent, yes.
Yes. Look, let me tell you what I have here, Spencer. I have a 2022 Compass Jeep Trailhawk. You know how rare these things are. This vehicle has 87,000 miles. Now listen, that might be a little concerning if it was 1999, but it's not. It's 2025. This vehicle is rated to run 500,000 miles. You know what that means? Spencer, you still have 400,000 miles left to drive, which I'm pretty sure you'd trade it before then, right? When's the last time you kept a car 400,000 miles? Spencer, I just plugged this into my system right now, and if this vehicle had half the miles, it'd be priced $10,000 higher. That's probably why you're interested in it, because of the price. Wouldn't you agree?
Sure.
Sure.
Like you sold yourself.
No, timeout, Spencer. Are you learning right now for me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Repeat after me, Spencer. Say, if I covered the odometer.
If I covered the odometer.
Say, you would think it had 0 miles on it. That's how nice this is. Say that. Say, if I covered the odometer, you would think it had 0 miles on it. That's how nice this is.
If I covered the odometer, you would think it had 0 miles on it. That's how nice it is.
Yep. And I want you, every time someone calls and says the miles are too high, I want you to say, hey, I totally understand. However, if the miles were lower, the price would be higher. Wouldn't you agree? Now, Spencer, let me ask you a question. If your company had training like that, how many more cars would you sell if they taught you what to say every time you got an objection? How many more cars would you sell?
Probably a couple more.
Christmas came early.
Sounds good. I appreciate you giving me some pointers. I appreciate it a lot.
All right. Did that help you a lot?
I would have to agree, yes. Well,
All right.
I appreciate that.
All right. Have a great day, buddy.
This is the thing, right? There's talk tracks that you can learn, and it's okay to learn the talk tracks. And then you really want to go back and understand what those talk tracks are about. So yeah, great. On the call, you get a talk track, you kind of recite it, you learn it, you memorize it. When someone says this objection, I say this. Okay, that's okay. But you need to understand how they marry up, right? So you need to go back and study it after the fact. But the lesson has to start where you go, you know what? I don't actually have the tools here to do my job properly. I need help. I need to either sit next to the top biller and understand how he's dealing with certain objections, or she's dealing with certain questions, or you start training. You hook up with the sales coach and you actually learn exactly what the psychology is behind all of this. Because yes, you can have the talk tracks, but then you're just becoming like a computer, like, oh, they said this, so I've got to say this. Oh, they said that, and I know I've got to say this. And it doesn't feel authentic. That's all well and good at the moment, in the moment. But what you want to do is then decipher after the call, when the dust has settled. What did that mean, right? Like, okay, I learned this. I learned that talk track, but why am I saying those words? Okay, and imagine if I'm in their shoes. That's exactly how learning starts. And that's how it will start embedding in your head, right? Neil, not interested. Of course you're not interested. If you were interested, you would have called me, right? Can I just ask, though, are you not interested because you've already looked into a certain solution, or you've got a million and one things to do? This just isn't top of your priority list. Neil, it's just not top of my priority list. Absolutely fine. What is? That's a talk track, right? To, I'm not interested. Oh, I should say, of course you're not interested, because if you were, you would have called me. Don't just recite it like a robot. It would sound like garbage, right? You need to understand why you're saying it. Because imagine someone cold calls you. You're going to say the same thing to them, right? You don't know who this person is. Yeah, dude, I'm not interested. Yeah, of course you're not interested. Listen, common sense. If you were interested, you would have called me, right? But let me ask you a question. Are you not interested because you've already looked into a certain solution, or you're not interested because you've just got a billion and one things to do? This just isn't a priority for you right now. That's spade a spade. You see how you break it down? It's actually just common sense. Probably how you would talk to people that you know, friends, people in your network circle, right? That's exactly how you would break it down. Objections are no different. But we put objections up on a pedestal because we're thinking, oh my God, they said a certain objection. I know I need to learn how to handle an objection. And yet you're too into your own head about it. Not interested. Yeah, I know you're not interested, mate. I didn't call you because I thought you'd be interested. I didn't think you'd be sitting there waiting for my fucking call, did I? No, I've called you because I've identified that I think I can help you. So I know you're not interested. If you were, you would have called me. I get all that. Let me just ask you one question. You're not interested because of A or because of B? B, Neil, not a priority. Fine. What is? Right? Progress the conversation. Try and normalize these things. Right. That's enough for LinkedIn posts for this week. I hope you enjoyed that. And guys, if you find that useful, or you want to know more about objection handling beyond just the talk tracks, I can teach you the talk tracks, no problem. That's absolutely fine. Just drop me a comment. I'll respond to every single one. Or if you're interested in coaching, there's a link in the description below. I offer one-to-one coaching. I've got limited slots. I'm happy to give you guys a free consultation, and we can figure out if I can help you or not. Or maybe you're struggling with discovery. I've just built 50 free discovery questions that are relevant today in SaaS right now. Just pick up a free copy, download it. The link is in the description. Don't waste time, guys, waiting around and thinking, I'll start this next week, I'll do this next week. Because every time you do that, someone else is skilling up. And whilst you're going like that, they're going like that. And they're making the money you should be making. That's money out of your pocket. Facts. Right. We're going to jump into the second part of today's podcast, which is a super quick cold calling masterclass. These are talk tracks that I've put together that work. No messing about, very human. Okay? We're not trying to get you to memorize things word for word. We're getting you to feel comfortable with talk tracks and then tweak them and make them your own. And then get on the phone and use them and ring people. And the more people you speak to, the more comfortable you're going to get. Right, track number 1. Hey, John. Neil from SaaS Sales Misfit. John, we've not actually spoken before, but I'm working with other sales directors in X, Y, and Z industry, and that's how I came across your details. Was hoping to ask you a couple of questions if you've got a sec. Super straightforward. Right, John. Told him where I'm calling from. We've not actually spoken before. I've spoken with other sales directors, though. Same industry he's working in. That's how I came across your details. Was hoping to ask you a couple of questions if you've got a sec. Inflecting down projects confidence. Was hoping to ask you a couple of questions if you've got a sec. That's inflecting up. Was hoping to ask you a couple of questions if you've got a sec. That's inflecting down. You decide which one sounds more confident. Now, what's the other thing we've done here? We've dealt with 2 objections straight off the bat. Who are you? I'm Neil from SaaS Sales Misfit. How did you get my details? Well, I'm working with other sales directors that are in your industry. That's actually how I came across your details. Right? How did you get my number? Mate, it's 2025. If you have to ask that question, you're living in La La Land. The amount of data that's available out there, everything is tracked. Dude, I've called your work number. You think your work number's not going to be out there? Now, obviously, don't be as aggressive as that. Hey, look, it's 2025. We use the best in breed data. Would it sound so crazy for me to tell you that I got it from our data tool because your number's been out there floating? You've been in the industry for 12 years. Do you think there's a chance that your email address and your mobile number are out there? I think there is. That's how I got it. So that's talk track number 1. Again, got to make it your own. All right. Number 2, John, I know you're super busy, so I'll be brief. I've noticed you've moved aggressively towards implementing AI in the business. We're getting mixed feedback on teams embracing it in other businesses. Are yours adapting to it, or are you getting pushback? Right? Now, I've read it how you're going to read it. Now you're going to make it your own. John, I know you're super busy, so I'll be brief. I have noticed on LinkedIn you've moved aggressively towards implementing AI in the business. Lots of teams are doing that. We're getting mixed feedback from them. Some are embracing it, some are not. Are yours adapting to it, or are you getting pushback? That's how you make it your own. Yeah, tweak it. Why does it work? It shows you actually did your homework. Yes, you've done some research. They're implementing AI in the business. You're also showing some credibility as well, because you're basically indicating you're working with other businesses similar to his, right? So you're getting some credit there. Yeah, you're building up value, but you're also building up your own personal credit. Hey, this guy's working in my industry. He's speaking to other businesses similar to mine. Exactly that. You're also acknowledging they're super busy. Being brief is a value add, guys. Bend off. Being brief is a value add. If you ring someone up, hey, John, Neil from SaaS Sales Misfit, how are you doing today? How's that value add? You're just completely, you've missed the mark by a million miles, right? Because they're busy. If someone rings you out the blue, it's very unlikely they're going to be sat on the couch waiting for your fucking call. They're busy. They're doing something. Please go into every call thinking they are busy, they are doing something. You're speaking to senior people here. They're going to be busy. John, I know you're busy. I actually know you're super busy, so I'm going to keep it very brief. Value add. Follow it up with credibility. I've done my homework on you. I know you're implementing AI into the business. We're speaking to other businesses, same as yours. Exact same as yours. Mixed feedback. Some are adapting to it well. Some are embracing AI. Others are not. They're struggling. Well, which side of the fence does your team fall on? You see, we're trying to have a conversation now. I've given you 3 different iterations of the same talk track there. Find the one that suits you best. Right. Number 3, the final one of the day. Hey, John, Neil from XYZ company. John, we've not spoken before, but we're currently working with company X. I know they're your direct competitor, so I figured we might be able to help you out too. How straightforward is that? Hey, John, Neil from SaaS Sales Misfit. John, we've not actually spoken before, but I am currently working with company X. I know they're your direct competitor, so I figured we might be able to help you out as well. Why does it work? Curiosity always kills the cats. You're working with their direct competitor. If they're a serious business, they're going to want to know exactly what you're doing for their direct biggest competition. FOMO. No one wants to risk getting left behind. Okay? And again, you're really bringing down the walls of defense here by going and working with your direct competitor. That's actually why I've called you. It just makes sense, right? Pieces all the puzzle of the cold call together for them without you having to really go into great detail and them asking you defensive questions because their walls are up because you've called them out the blue. John, it's Neil from SaaS Sales Misfit. John, we've not spoken before directly, but I am working with your competitor. The company's ABC. We're helping them right now. I figured because you guys do something very similar, we'll be able to help you too. And then when they give you 10, 20, 30 seconds, don't be caught off guard like the geezer we just saw in the Andy Elliott video. Don't be caught off guard. Be ready with your questions. Be very deliberate with your questions. I know you're hiring right now. I've seen it on LinkedIn, but you've increased headcount over the last 6 months by 20%. That's got to take a toll on your onboarding team. How are your guys managing that? Do you have a customer success team? Can you walk me through the process? Are you getting churn as a result? Why are you asking that, Neil? Because that's what we're seeing with other businesses that have also increased their headcount by the same percentage that you have. What else? Right? You come across with credibility. You come across and say things with authority because you are the market expert. Yeah, you're asking for their time, but you're asking from a position of authority here. Don't put your prospects on a pedestal. Talk to them like they're human beings. This is a contact sport, and it's a contact sport where you're coming with credibility and they're coming with credibility, and it's a meeting of the minds, and you're figuring out, can we help you or can we not? And if it's yes, great, and if it's no, no problem. We tried. Shake hands, move on. I'm a professional too. Yeah, I'm not just some SDR or some AE that's just rigging you up and hoping that you'll give me, time, please. I'm begging you, please. Can I have more? Yeah. We ain't Oliver Twist. We are credible, professional SDRs and AEs who know exactly what the fuck we're doing because we've done our research. Now, the whole point of this is really trying to turn it into a very human conversation. Right? If you've got a friend and they say something mental to you, you're going to call them out on it, aren't you? Right? Do the same with the prospects. John, where'd you get your data from currently? Nowhere. How the fuck's you call anyone then? How do your salespeople call anyone? Right, obviously don't swear, but the whole point, do you get what I'm saying? You're speaking to like you would your friend. Now, you're going to do it in a professional manner because we're in a professional setting. This is work. But fundamentally, that is the kind of mindset you need. And that is the mindset that top SDRs and AEs have. They ring someone up. They're absolutely curious. And if something that the prospect says doesn't make sense, you bet your bottom dollar the top reps in SaaS will call them out on it or at least ask a question around it. I just don't get it. Like, how, if you don't have any data, how do your salespeople call anyone? What are they doing? Oh, they surf the internet. Like, what? The same internet I do? Well, LinkedIn. Oh, okay. So when I go on LinkedIn, I mean, I've just been on your profile, and when I go on your contact info, your number's not there. How much time are they wasting trying to find this data, John? Do you think? Like, I'm genuinely lost because I do this for a living, but I use a data tool, but you're not using one. And I'm just curious, like, your salespeople must seriously be spending a lot of time scraping the internet, or am I missing something? Have a conversation, but also say it with authority, because absolutely, it's just a valid question. You do it with your mates. Do the same thing with these prospects. The last thing I want to tell you is consistency. You can't cold call whenever you feel like. You need to be consistent, guys. Think of it like the fat person that joins the gym in January. Yeah. Week 1, they go ham. Week 2, slightly less so. Week 3, they're eating a Snickers bar out of the vending machine. And week 4, they're in McDonald's. That is going to lead you to nowhere. Don't just cold call whenever you feel like it. Inconsistency will get you no results. Meanwhile, the fat person that joins the gym in January and is consistent will start reaching goals, and you see them on their journey, and they'll get to their weight goals or size goals, whatever they're trying to achieve. You need to do the same. Be consistent with cold calling, because it's easy to make cold calls, or easier to make cold calls when you want to make them. It's very difficult when you're not feeling it, but just get regimented with it. I have my cold calling routine. I'm not going to wait until 10 o'clock when all the CEOs and CROs are in meetings, and I know that. I'm just pretending, and I'm just hitting some KPI metrics. Oh, I tried calling them, they didn't pick up. Of course they didn't fucking pick up. It's 10 a.m. Yeah. Get in and ring them at 8 a.m. Get in and ring them at 8:30. CEOs have gatekeepers, but those gatekeepers aren't going to get in at 8 a.m. Yeah? CROs are going to be less busy, and you're going to get more cut through at 7:45, 8 a.m., 8:30 in the morning than you are if you try them at 10 a.m. Look, sir, I tried to call him. Yeah? Sorry, Mr. Sales Manager, I did try and call him. Yeah, your line manager's going to be like, right, well, it's great that you're hitting some KPIs, but you're not booking any meetings. Out you go. Let's not play this silly little game. Yeah. You know when the CEOs are free. You know when to get cut through. It's before anyone else is calling them. It's early in the morning. These guys work long hours. They're early. They're in early. They're out late. Yeah. Start calling them after 5 o'clock, after 5:30. Yeah, you don't want to, do you? Because you want to get the train home. You're out the door at 4:45 yourself. Well, you'll be out the door permanently if you carry that on. All right. Guys, I hope that was super helpful. It's the end of another episode of Sell the Future podcast. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe. It helps me reach more other people. If you've got any comments, you disagree with me, drop them. I will respond to every single one of them. And like I said, the links are in the description. If you're interested in one-to-one coaching, book in your one-to-one consult now. It's free. You'll be speaking directly with me. Discovery questions are in there as well. But I've got an objection handling masterclass. If you're after that, just let me know. How are you going to let me know? You're going to let me in the comments. Neil, I want your objection handling masterclass. Can you send it to me? Yes, great. We'll connect. Connect with me on LinkedIn and then DM me. There's ways. Until the next episode, look after yourselves. And if you haven't had enough of me and you want to see more, click right here and I'll see you guys in there.